The U.S. Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, Colin Kahl, said in a press conference on August 8 that the U.S. has sent a number of anti-radiation missiles that can be fired off of Ukrainian aircraft that can have effects on Russia radars and other things. Kahl's remarks came shortly after Russian telegram channels released the images of what is allegedly the destroyed AGM-88 HARM, and the missile in question was reportedly fired at a Russian position. Also, in late July, Ukraine's defense minister Oleksiy Reznikov also said that Ukraine would get special anti-radar missiles, which would allow the Ukrainian armed forces to effectively destroy Russia's radar system, essentially blinding the enemy and gaining an advantage for a counteroffensive. Anti-radiation missiles would mean a significant upgrade for the Ukrainian military, as there have been reports in recent months about Russian air defense systems that have limited the capability of the Ukrainian Air Force to operate in the eastern Donbass region. They created in the Donbass a powerful, anti-access/area denial zone, and in these circumstances, it is hazardous to fly over them, an unnamed Ukrainian official was quoted as saying by Foreign Policy in May. In low altitude, the Russian air defense is waiting for us, the official continued. Also, in June, 2 Ukrainian fighter pilots, in an interview, said that even the world-famous Turkish-made Bayraktar TB drones that were initially instrumental in destroying Russian armored columns and troops marching toward the capital Kyiv have now become almost useless in the face of threats posed by Russian air defenses in the eastern Donbass region. Therefore, the AGM-88 HARM is a significant addition to the Ukrainian arsenal of weapons that could potentially be a game-changer, just like the HIMARS multiple launch rocket system, MLRS, provided by the U.S. The HIMARS provides Ukraine with a rapid precision strike capability at standoff ranges without the need for air power, thereby allowing the Ukrainian military to compensate for the small size of its air force. However, the AGM-88 would take Ukraine's abilities to another level by enabling the Ukrainian military to destroy the Russian air defense's radars and allow the fighters to operate safely in eastern Donbass, supporting ground troops. Texas Instruments initially developed the AGM-88 HARM as a replacement for the AGM-45 Shrike and AGM-78 Standard Arm System. Raytheon Corporation took over its production after acquiring Texas Instruments' defense production business. The HARM missile gets the target parameters from the launch aircraft before it is launched, which the rocket uses together with the relevant altitude data to process incoming radio frequency, RF, energy for target acquisition and guidance. The terminal homing capability of the HARM missile provides the launch aircraft with the launch and leave capability. The missile is said to be capable of singling out the desired target from several radio frequency emitters. It has a proportional guidance system in its nose section, consisting of a fixed antenna and seeker homes on enemy radar emissions. There are 3 variants of the missile, the AGM-88A, B, and C, of which the warhead sections of variants A and B contain 25,000 preformed steel fragments, an explosive charge, a fuse, and a fuse booster. The warhead section of the variant C contains 12,845 tungsten fragments and an improved explosive charge which provides greater overall lethality. These warhead sections damage the target's antenna and waveguide system to render it inoperative. The missile is propelled by a smokeless, solid propellant, dual-thrust rocket motor. However, the question remains as to how exactly the Ukrainian military is employing the AGM-88 if it has received this missile from the U.S. The U.S. Navy and Marine Corps employ the missile on their F-divided by a -18S and its electronic warfare variant, the EA-18G Growler aircraft, while the U.S. Air Force, USAF, uses its specialized F-16s, equipped with the HARM Targeting System, HTS, to deploy the missile. The Italian Air Force also deploys the missile using its Tornado electronic combat aircraft. However, the Ukrainian military only has its aging fleet of MiG-29, Su-24, Su-25, and Su-27, all Soviet-made platforms, lacking the appropriate interfaces to communicate targeting information from the launch aircraft to the Western-made missile and the missile status back to the aircraft. It is possible that either the Ukrainian aircraft have been modified to incorporate the AGM-88, or the Soviet-era aircraft from NATO states could have possibly been supplied to Ukraine in a clandestine transfer. These Soviet-era aircraft belonging to NATO states are said to have been upgraded with NATO standard bus architecture and adaptable avionics that could interface with the HARM.